Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Japan Professional League. It is going to be the Yokohama DeNA BayStars going head-to-head against the Saitama Seibu Lions for this one here tonight. As this is the third last game, the first in this series, third last round of exhibition play before the season gets going in a week's time from today. Well, first of all, I'm going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Yokohama. It is leading off at second base, number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting second in left field is number 7, Kaida Sano. Hitting third at third base is number 51, Shiro Miyazaki. Batting in the cleanup spot is number 25, Yoshi Tsugo. Hitting fifth and in left field tonight is number 61, Tetsuo Ibina. Hitting in the sixth spot and in right field is number 99, Cooper Hummel. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 50, and that's Yudai Yamamoto. Batting eighth at shortstop is number 44, Taiki Ishikami. And batting ninth and doing the pitching, it'll be number 11, Katsuki Azuma. And they're going to be facing Natsuki Takichi will take on the hill tonight for the Lions. And the left-hander now onto the hill to do his tune-ups. Now the starting lineup for the Saitama Seibu Lions. Leading off and playing center field is number 51, Manaya Nishikawa. Batting second and at third base tonight is number 8, Seiya Watanabe. Batting third in left field is number 7, Masayuki Kuwahara. And the cleanup spot in right field is number 25, Alexander Canario. Batting in the fifth spot and playing first base is number 68, Junichiro Kishi. Batting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 73, Anko Lin. Hitting seventh at second base is number 5, that's Shuta Tonosaki. Batting eighth at shortstop, number 6, Sosuke Genda. And hitting ninth, the catcher wearing number 22 is Yuta Koga. And they are going to be facing, it is number 11, Katsuki Azuma. As we said, he's going to be in the spot tonight batting for the BayStars as they got to get the pitchers used to hitting, as the Lions will use a DH in this one. Our friend the Chave is in the house, as is Samurai Prayer. We thank you guys for hopping in here tonight. We'll give you the call tonight. We're going to do one tomorrow and the night after, so we'll be on the airwaves. A little bit different setup as we are on the road, so hopefully you guys can hear us as good as we do when we're through the regular season, when we're calling it in our normal setup. But this is how this is going to go here tonight. Well, the left-hander has almost completed his tune-up tosses, and now Takuchi is ready to go here as the Lions, wearing their home whites, are going to be facing the BayStars here. Good crowd on hand, as of course both of these teams are local to the Tokyo area. The BayStars more toward the southwest, and the Lions more toward the northwest. There was a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away by Mackey, and the count is quickly 0-1, and we are underway. The Chave says, same good stream call. Well, we'll find out about that as we move along, but I do think that we'll be okay. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2 to Mackey. So no balls and 2 strikes. We'll be looking to call next weekend, where we're probably going to open up the regular season with the Hawks and the Fighters. That is what's been on my radar. As that fastball misses upstairs, the count goes to 1-2. So that's what we're going to be looking to do next weekend. If you can join us, hopefully you can. I think that's a Climax Series preview for the first game of the season. Fastball to Mackey misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty again delivers as the fastball swung on, and this one's going to be lifted foul. Reach the seats behind home plate. Just trying to fool around with my setup here a little bit. Got some coffee going and all kinds of other stuff, and just not used to the setup I have. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Game is early start on the West Coast, 9 p.m., midnight if you're on the East Coast. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the lefty Takuchi loses Mackey for a leadoff walk here to begin the first inning. Our friend Gracie Lynn in the house, and she said, looks like the fantasy draft just finished in time. It sure did. I said to her earlier that don't know where I have to go to get my winnings, probably Costa Rica. But happy with a team that I was able to cobble up, seeing that I was in the snake draft batting or having to pick 10th. I think that was rigged. Well, here comes the left fielder Kaita Sano to the plate. Sano batting from the left side. And the first pitch is a slow breaking ball that drops over for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Gracie Lynn says it still sounds good and looks good with the remote setup. Well, that's good. Got a little different positioning, a little different piece that I'm working off of here. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled right off into the feet of Sano, and the count now goes to 0-2. Gracie Lynn says she doesn't align the draft pick positions. Yahoo does it 30 minutes before the draft. Yeah, I'm aware. I've done a couple of pools, not in recent years, but 3 or 4 years ago. I was looking at my other account. I couldn't find the other account, but there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lined down the right field line. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be extra bases. Over to get it is Canario. He fires the ball in, and stopping at third is going to be Mackey, and aboard with a double is Kaita Sano. And the BayStars here have something brewing in the top of the first inning, as they got 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Toshiro Miyazaki. So for Miyazaki, he was a couple seasons ago was one of the most dangerous hitters in all of the NPB. And as he comes to the plate, BayStars ready to go here. Not a full house, but a pretty good crowd for the third final tune-up before everything gets going for real. BayStars, Miyazaki at the plate. Infield for the Lions is back. They're trading runs for outs. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Gracie Lynn says the first time she's picked above 7th for 3 years. And there you go. Maybe you get a few more people that'll stick around and come back again next year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Charging hard to get it is the center fielder, and that is Nishikawa, but he is going to throw it. It's going to get cut off, and stopping at third is Sano, and that's going to put runners at the corners, but a run is crossed the plate on an RBI single off the bat of Miyazaki, as Maki has given the BayStars an early 1-0 lead here, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Yoshi Satsugo. I'm interested to see both of these teams this year. Both of the clubs are a little bit different. I do think the Lions have improved themselves, both domestically and with their foreign players that they brought in. Now the question will be is, can the Lions and the BayStars be able to build off of that? BayStars, they retooled a lot of their import players. A lot are gone. New look. A couple of their veteran players have moved on. In fact, in the lineup tonight for the Lions is Masayuki Kuwahara. He was with the BayStars for last number of years. So we'll see how this all plays out. Fastball swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1 to Satsugo. Chave says exactly the start we were hoping for. If you're a BayStars fan, you're off and running, that is for sure. Interesting. Satsugo batting from the left side. He took a swing, and he is hobbling. Grabbed his right leg on the quad when he took the cut. And the trainer has come out. They're going to take him down and have a look. So I'll be very curious to see if Satsugo will stay in the game. He is slated to play first base tonight. So he's going to hobble down the tunnel, and I'm going to give you the defensive lineup right now for the Lions while we wait for his return, if he returns at all. In the outfield from left to right, in left field it's Kuwahara, the center fielder is Nishikawa, and right field it's Canario. Around the horn from first to third for the Lions, Kishi is at first, it's Tonosaki at second, Genda is the shortstop, and at third, it's Watanabe with the battery of Takuchi and Koga. But as we have this pause in the action here, we'll talk a little bit more about the BayStars and who they pulled some of the stuff in, some of their additions. You look at the offseason, Cooper Hummel was a big offseason addition. Last season, they added Dan Visayedo, who had spent a long time with the Chinichi Dragons. So offensively, there's two players right there. They picked up John Duplantier, who was with the Hanshin Tigers last year. So they signed him as a free agent as he didn't return. And then you've got Austin Cox on the roster, Jose Ruiz on the roster, and Sean Reynolds. So all new import arms. So complete overhaul of the import portion of the ball club. So I think that will hurt the BayStars. I think the top two teams, and it looks like the manager is coming out. So we're going to have a decision here. And it looks like is that going to be the end for Setsugo? Yes, it is. And he's going to be replaced there as they're having to bring a hitter in to hit for him. This is going to be number 95, Ryuhei Kuki. So that's not a good sign for the BayStars. They lose one of their important bats on a swing. Didn't even touch the ball. So it's going to be number 95, Ryuhei Kuki coming in. And he's got a no ball and one strike count on him. So they might win the exhibition game, but then it'll be a little bit of that. Our friend Samurai Prayer says, I've been doing a lot of Lions games this spring. Yeah, I have. I've been interested to see what they have. Also, the timing of their games has been good. I think they're much improved over the last season, despite the loss of Tetsuya Imai. Like there's a lot of good things on the offensive side. They might be able to hit their way out of trouble this year with the additions that they've made. Significant upgrades offensively. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field. Racing toward the line is Canario. He slides, and he's not able to make the catch in foul territory as he ends up into the wall. The ball ends up bouncing down. Could be a long strike on Kuki. Our friend Gracie Lynn said, have I been watching the madness? Actually, I haven't. I've been spent pretty much the whole night last night flying, and then today trying to catch up on some sleep in the afternoon. Once this game is done, probably catch up on some more sleep. I got a busy day tomorrow. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the lefty delivers. Breaking ball down, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yeah, so really haven't really paid a whole lot. I'll probably tune in after this weekend into the madness when they get down into the Sweet 16 and beyond. Here's the 1-2 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. Count goes now to 2-2 on Kuchi. Chaves says hitting their way out of trouble seems to be the plan. Yeah, I don't know if they've done enough for the Lions on the pitching side. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think they're still a little bit light there. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's over on the third base side, and it's 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, yeah, try to get in as many games as possible. As I said, I'm going to try to do 150 total this year. And right now we're off to a good start. By the time this weekend's done, we should be, I would say by the end of March, we should be about 30-plus games in the books. There's a breaking ball that misses to Kuki. Count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Keep your eye on the runner Miyazaki at first. Not a traditional base stealer, but we'll see if they put him in motion to stay out of the double play. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Kuki's gone. He's out on strikes for out number 1. It's going to bring up the center fielder in Tetsuo Ibina. Well, we had pretty much a lot of fun doing the Classic there the other day. It was those last 3 games, the semis and the finals. A number of people ended up jumping through the stream. But the NPB season, when it gets going for real next week, we start to get a regular attendance and a regular crowd that follows. So Ibina, 7 for 27 in exhibition play, steps in, batting from the right side. Infield and double play depth up the middle. Corners even with the bags. And there is a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count goes to 1-0 on Ibina. Ibina will be a tough one to double up in the event that they are going to try to rule 2 here. He does run well. 1-0 pitch ready to come. on the way. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. In particular, I do like this matchup. Also going on this weekend is the Tigers and the Buffaloes. There's a fastball grounded over to short. Genda fields it over to second for 1. Back to first, and they are going to get the double play. So the speedy Ibina is erased. It's going to go in the books as a 6-4 3 double play. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here. Well, the BayStars threatened, but they only come away with 1. They had 1 run on 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we're through a half inning, it is the BayStars 1 and the Lions coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all your action right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Lions to lead things off. It'll be Manaya Nishikawa, Seiya Watanabe, and Masayuki Kuwahara, the 1-2-3 hitters in the batting order. Fred Gracie Lynn said she might be out west in a couple of weeks. Braves, Diamondbacks, Braves, Angels, and exploring around Central in the south of Cali for a week. Yeah, it's should be decent weather, I would think. It's pretty hot right now in Arizona. You might want to stay out of there. It's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the earliest it's been in I don't know how long. There's a first pitch breaking ball from Azuma that's taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Nishikawa is 9 for 38 in exhibition play. Batting from the left side here against the left-hander Azuma, who delivers a fastball. It's swung on and is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room and space, calling everybody off is the left fielder Sano, and that is going to retire Nishikawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. That'll bring up Seiya Watanabe to the plate. Curious tonight to see how Azuma will be used. He had 2 innings in his first start of the spring, 3 in his second. He had 4 last week. My guess is they want to stretch him out maybe to 5 tonight so that he can give you at least 6 on opening day. Here comes the first offer. Gets a fastball that just misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Watanabe. So 1 ball, no strikes. Lefty Azuma ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Defensively tonight for the BayStars from left to right, it is Sano in left, in center Ibina, and Cooper Hummel is the right fielder. Round the horn from first to third. Well, Sugo's day is done. It looks like Kuki is at first. Maki at second. The shortstop is Ishikami at third. Miyazaki with the battery of Azuma and Yamamoto. The slow breaking ball drops in for a called strike. Count now runs to 1-2 on Yamamoto. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty holds set. Now kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is taken on 1 hop by the shortstop. Nice play on the backhand by Ishikami. He fires to first, and Watanabe's going to be retired on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to leave it up to the top of the order in Masayuki Kuwahara. Yeah, I like the heat as well. That's one thing our friend Gracie Lynn says about the heat. Likes that kind of weather. I like the heat. I like the humidity. Stepping up to the plate is Kuwahara, 11 for 36. especially when you get into the Pacific Northwest. A lot of people, they don't like that type of weather. Gets a little bit warm, gets in the 70s, and people think it's hot. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. It's not easy. You have to get accustomed to it. You got to get used to it. Big crowd in the supporter section for the Lions here tonight. Mentioned that the stadium's not full for this, as it's the third last exhibition, but a pretty good turnout nonetheless. My guess is it's going to be north of 20,000 for sure, as that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 strike to Kuwahara. Digs himself back in. He's ready on the offering from the left-hander Azuma. As Azuma kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung. This ball's lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track and calling everybody off and making the catch is the left fielder Sano. So busy man this inning as he takes care of 2 of the 3 outs. That's going to do it here for the Lions as they go quietly and in order. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score is we're through 1 complete. It is the BayStars 1, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the second inning in just a couple of moments after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the second inning when we return. Slated to come to bat for the BayStars. It'll be Hummel, Yamamoto, and Ishikami. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. Check him out after the game is done. He's going to introduce himself and tell you a little about who he is.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. The lefty Takeuchi delivers a first pitch breaking ball to Cooper Hummel. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Hummel 11 for 33 with a couple of homers and 8 RBIs in exhibition play, so he is off to a good start. The former Arizona Diamondback takes the fastball up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. I look at some of the import players across the NPB, Hummel being one, Trey Cabbage being another. If they could put together back-to-back good seasons, if they're going to be able to get an opportunity back in the United States. There's a breaking ball that misses up. They appealed to the first base umpire, but they say Hummel didn't go, and the count goes to 2-1. Trying to get a gauge on the weather, as it looks like that people are still bundled up. The umpires on the field wearing gloves. They got their jackets on. Looks like it may be a little on the cool side. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count goes now to 2-2. It's certainly not in the 90-degree temperature range. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But looks like a good evening for baseball in Takarazawa. Hummel had stepped out of the box. He's now back in to reset himself and ready to get the pitch from Takeuchi. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and away. Count runs full to 3-2, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Also looking forward to the start of the season because we'll start doing the games, as we said, with some regularity. The first 2 games of the season we will call. We won't be calling the Sunday game next week because there's a breaking ball ticket for a called third strike. Hummel watched that one go by. He's gone for excessive window shopping. He's out for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Yudai Yamamoto. So we'll be on the call next week for the games on Friday and Saturday, Japan time. We'll not be on the call for the Sunday game. Be down watching Northwestern and UW play. It's Big Ten baseball. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I was looking at the schedule here. It's 4 for 27 is Yamamoto. Swings at a fastball and hammers that one foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 0-2 on Yamamoto. And it'll be Guardians and Mariners a week from Sunday. I haven't seen the starting pitchers announced that far ahead yet in Major League Baseball. I'm sure as it gets closer in the week, we'll start to see the weekend series. There's a fastball missing upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. And then we'll be back into the regular stuff. There are some midweek games through the month of April, so you have to check the channel as we will call some games that would be 10 o'clock Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yamamoto's gone. Back-to-back strikeouts recorded by Takuchi, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Taiki Ishikami. Well, for Ishikami, as he comes to the plate, he's looking like he could be the everyday shortstop for the BayStars. I don't think they have too much else left over there. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Used to have Yamato, who had held down the spot for a bit. The ball's 1 strike. He got a little long in the tooth. There is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-2. And it looks like Aurelio Quiroz in the house is plus 6.5 Carreras. I'm not sure what he means, but we do have our resident Gracie Lynn in here. Maybe she would be able to help us out. Fastball swung on and fouled off the catcher's glove and mask. Count 0-2 here to Ishikami. Well, it is cool enough that you can see the breath of the players as the pitcher Takuchi exhales. Looked like a dragon out there. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's going to be lifted down the left field line. It's going to slice into the seats. Count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We're thinking about it. We were asked by a listener why there isn't any Japan. There's a fastball that is check swing and missed, and Ishikami strikes out the side, and that's going to do it here. I'll come back and carry on what I was about to say in just a couple of moments, and it has to do with why there isn't NPB pools. Anyways, I'll talk about that when I return in a minute. The BayStars go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1.5. Your score is the BayStars won the Lions. No score. Stick around, everybody. Bottom of the second is just around the corner in just a couple moments, and we'll be happy to bring it with you when we return. Your score is 1-0 for the BayStars as we move to the bottom of the second inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this with all the calls. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Alexander Canario to come to lead it off. He'll be followed by Junichiro Kishi and Anko Lin. 12 hits in the preseason. Batting .308 is Canario, batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Azuma. Friend Gracie Lynn said she thought she heard her name. Yeah, we said As there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Aurelio Chiores posted 6.5 Carreras in the chat. I don't know what he was talking about. I said, we'll ask our resident Latin listener, to see if she knows. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Canario. New lease on life for Canario. He probably could have got himself a contract, Major League Baseball, maybe a minor league with an invite to spring training, but he's out of options. And so he would be, if he had to get sent down, he'd be probably doing the tour of the MLB. There's a fastball swung on, is driven deep into right field, backing up his Hummel, and then backpedaling on the warning track and making the catch. That was a good swing by Canario. Did a good job staying inside the ball, going the other way, but he just got underneath it a little bit. He's going to be retired for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Junichiro Kishi. I started saying the last half inning, I was talking about Japan. Kishi struggling in this exhibition play, 5 for 30. I was saying in Japan that they don't have sports betting online. It's illegal. There's a fastball swung on that is lifted into shallow right center field, digging hard and then taking it off the bounce as the center fielder, and that is Ibina, as he was able to get on it, but couldn't come up with the play. It's the first hit of the game here for the Lions. Puts a runner at first with one gone. I was saying you can't get somebody. One of the listeners said, "Hey, how come there's no baseball pool for the NPB?" Well, gambling is illegal in sports gambling online illegal in Japan. That probably has an impact to it there. And again, it's just a guesstimate from my end. Azuma kicks and delivers first pitch breaking ball, taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Maybe that's what we have to do. Maybe we got to come up with a NPB fantasy league so people, our listeners, can enjoy with us. No cost on it, but just getting people to get into the game in a different way. Is that breaking ball is taken for a called strike? It's now 0-2. And Colin missed a little bit of time with the Lions in the preseason. He was the MVP of the Chinese League last year. I like his presence at the plate. I saw him play last year in the Chinese League live. There's a fastball that just misses out. Not too many guys can really hit for the Taiwanese, but he is one of them. The Chave says that's a huge idea. Yeah. Just got to figure out how to operate it through. I was thinking maybe if we don't do it this year, look to do it next year, and where you make it a members only thing where people have to join the channel and then it's behind the doors. The way people aren't all over. So there's a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Lin goes down on strikes. He's out for the second out of the inning. That's the first strikeout recorded by Azuma. Gracie Lynn says, do they even have NPB fantasy? I don't think they do. As I mentioned, online gambling is illegal, and I think anything that would foster it being fantasy-type pools would probably be frowned upon. Spring Shuta Tonosaki played. He's had a good spring, 12 for 27, homer and 3 RBIs. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count is 1-0. The Chave fist pumps the idea. He likes it. He's all aboard. So 1 ball and no strikes as the left-hander holds to the set. Now he throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Kishi. Yeah, it'd be an interesting topic to be able to do that, to be able to create that. I wonder, Yahoo is, if I'm not mistaken, a Japanese company, but yet here they don't have anything for NPB. Fastball swung on and missed. Tonosaki had a good rip at it, but he was a little bit out in front. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Sosuke Genda waiting his turn on deck as he has returned from the national team and the tournament at the World Baseball Classic. There's a breaking ball that just misses down. The count now goes to 2-1. Gracie Lynn says, I know in the U.S. a distinction is made between gambling and fantasy sports. Fantasy sports is classified as a game of strategy, while gambling is a game of chance. And that would be true. I don't know how other countries would look at it, especially when you have different structures of law. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time easily is Kishi. Also, too, when you think about it in this regards, that the possibility of being able to do it, would that encourage people to ultimately change it into money? Fantasy becomes gambling. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field, giving chase is Hummel, and he's going to make an over-the-shoulder catch at the edge of the warning track, and Tonosaki's going to be retired for the third out of the inning. He gave it a ride. He just didn't get it far enough, and that is going to do it here for the Lions in their half of this second inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're now through 2 complete innings. Your score is the BayStars 1, the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. I'll be back, and we'll comment on a little bit more of this in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you for being here and tuning in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is BayStars and Lions. BayStars in the lead, 1-0. Welcome back, everybody. It's the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order to come to bat here for Yokohama in their half of the third inning. It is going to be Azuma, Maki, and Sano. Last year, Azuma was 7 for 38 at the plate, so he is able to put the ball in play, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. The Chief says NPB fantasy as a self-contained thing run out by outside of Japan should be perfectly fine. I agree as well. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 1-1. One thing is what would be kind of cool is, can you get ChatGPT to make an app for it? That'd be kind of funny. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. Rather than us taking our time to do it, can we get the app to make an app? Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, and he blows it by him. As Tanichi reared back and put a little extra on it, and that is going to put Azuma in the books for the first out of the inning. By my count, that is 4 strikeouts in a row here by Tanichi, and he's struck out 5 of the 7 outs here recorded tonight so far. The other help was in the double play. Gracie Lynn said she likes the musical number. I can't remember which one that you were looking at or listening to, which was attached to the one there. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Gracie Lynn said there is an app. Yeah, I think you're right. I've seen something like that before. Breaking ball misses outside. Count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Shugo Maki. Maki is officially does not have an at-bat tonight. He walked and scored a run his first time, and he swings at a breaking ball and pops it up into left center field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is Nishikawa, and that is going to retire Maki for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs here, and it's going to bring Kaita Sano to the plate. Yeah, I'm not sure. It was one of the YouTube, as our friend Gracie Lynn was asking about the musical rendition. YouTube's got a lot of free music that you can take so you don't get hit on charges, and so that would be one of those clips that I've taken off of YouTube. I'd have to go back and take a look. It probably does have a name, but nothing that I know of. So here's Sano at the plate, 8 for 31 in exhibition play, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. He doubled his first time up, and he was left stranded at third to end the first inning. Left-hander against the left-hander. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on his line over the head of Tonosaki, who was standing about 3 or 4 steps back onto the outfield turf. And he still couldn't walk the ladder to get it, and Sano's got his second hit of the ball game. That's a base hit. Chaves says he's seen it done for low pyramid English football, and NPB doesn't sound too hard. I would agree. Once you decide what you want to do, how you want to put it in, do you want to do head-to-head? Do you want to do a rotisserie type scoring system? Could be interesting. This is going to bring Toshiro Miyazaki to the plate. Miyazaki's 1 for 1. He also drove in the game's only run. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count is quickly 0-1. Miyazaki, a very dangerous hitter. But he's starting to get a little long in the tooth. He's starting to get up there. So no balls and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Miyazaki is going to be 38 years old after the season. He's had himself a nice career in the NPB. He has been, obviously, the Japan Series champion in 2024. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Digging around second and heading to third is the base runner Sano, and it's going to put the BayStars with runners on the corners with 2 gone. So all the action here getting going with 2 out, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Ryuhei Kuki. As we said, Kuki had go into the ball game after 1 pitch to Yoshi Satsugo. Satsugo had exited the game with some sort of discomfort in his knee. One of the other things that we would also want to look at, and I sometimes find it challenging, is maybe it's because of our language skills or the English or my lack of skills with the Japanese, as Kuki steps in 4 for 18 in the exhibition play. That would be a good injury report. When guys are down, when it translates into English, they say these soft things like, he has lower body ailment. Well, I don't know what that is. If we're talking hockey, fastball swung on and fouled away, count is 0-1. They do that in hockey, lower body injury. It doesn't tell me anything. Did he take a puck in the ankle? Did he pop his groin? Did he go over the boards and tweak a hamstring? All of those things become important, right? Especially on the length of time a player might be out. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 0-2, and they seem very guarded on what I would call the injury reports. No, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that that's how it is. But it would be nice to also get a good, reliable injury report, because then people can, what I would say, make better decisions based on information that would be provided. I know if a guy's got a bone contusion on his shin versus maybe say that his kneecap went sideways, that would be better information to know. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count goes to 1-2. But then where you would get that, when you think of like Major League Baseball trade rumors, it's almost like those guys are scouring the waiver wires, looking for information whenever it comes available. The reporters taking what the reporters are breaking and then summarizing it as one. There's a fastball swung on, it is lifted into right center field, digging hard and sliding, but he can't make the catch, or does he? Or did he make the catch? It looked like it came out of his glove, but that is going to be the 3rd out of the inning, as it is going to be a grab by Nishikawa. He had to come a long way, and that is going to do it here, as he's gone for out number 3 is Kuki. Or are we? We're gonna wait here, because it looks like they are going to go up and have a look. And I think that's probably the right decision. Let's see what they decide here. I think the manager of the BayStars wants to have them take a peek at this. I thought the ball came out of his glove, and I thought he was able to scoop it up. Yeah, they're going to go look at it. So before we put this half inning to rest, we'll see what the outcome is here. If that does get down for a hit, that'll mean the BayStars will get another run. So this is a potentially quick decision here, as he's got the headset on, as probably is the crew chief. It's not the home plate umpire. Or maybe it's not. Maybe they get the second base umpire, who would have been his call, involved in the call. Regardless, the Lions players are all around the home plate umpire having a good chuckle about something. As we're looking here, we didn't get another shot at the replay. At first, I thought that the ball had come out of the glove of the center fielder. I didn't think that he had enough. He didn't have enough control of it. As we continue to wait here, and it looks like a decision is about to become rendered, we're going to get a look at the replay ourselves. So it looked like he caught the ball, but then when the ball hit the ground, oh no, I think he's okay. And it did look like the ball maybe had slightly come out a bit, and you kind of snow coned it a bit. I guess it's worth a look if you're the BayStars, but as far as I'm concerned, I think that's going to be out, and I think it's going to be a waste of a call. Here comes the umpires with their decision. And all I can tell you is that they're coming off the field. What do we have? Yep, right hand goes up. That's going to do it there. Hang tight, everybody. I'll get you back in just a couple of moments. Got a lot of information here in our chat, and I'll come back and chat with you guys. Obviously, we're talking about the NPB, a fantasy piece, and their app when we come back in a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Sosuke Agenda up at the plate took a first pitch fastball for a called strike. It'll be Koga and the top of the order Nishikawa to follow. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. Talking about the possibility of an app, our friend Gracie Lynn says that obviously she was able to learn some Spanish via the app pretty quickly, which is kind of cool. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 0-2. I'm not really overly worried about that. I think that, what we would want to try to do first is, number one is, get the structure of it, and then you want to try to be able to not just get the structure of the app, but then to be able to possibly do it in English, and then you can worry about the translations later. So that's, to me, not so much the worry. It's how do you be able to create the app? There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Genda's in the books quickly for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the catcher in Yuta Koga. And certainly learning Spanish, they also have certain nuances in different countries. Like in Costa Rica, I don't think they necessarily say de nada, they say mucho gusto. They say thank you. And so there's those cultural nuances, but I wouldn't even do that. I would just be strictly looking at the North American audience to try to get them attracted into the game. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Koga. Our friend the Chave says, don't get him started about the NHL. Yeah, the NHL is a nightmare. And the NBA with their guys who decide that they're not going to play because it's sunny outside. There's a ground ball chopped back to the pitcher. Zuma's got to come off the mound to field it. He does, and a great job as he turns and fires to be able to get Koga. If it was anybody else running, I think they probably would have been safe. But Koga, the catcher, not the most fleet of foot, he's gunned down for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the top of the order in Minaya Nishikawa. Oh, Gracie Lynn says about translating the info that we're getting. Yeah, I think that back to that, it's, a reliable site, reliable source to be able to do that. That would be the other piece is who's putting it out. Does the league always put it out? Do they put it out in a timely manner? When the league starts doing it, then you can look into it. Then you can dig deeper with the local reporters. Fastball swung on, popped up down the left field line. Digging over is the shortstop and the third baseman, but it is going to be the shortstop, Ishikami, who's going to make the catch as he runs into the fencing. And that is going to do it as Nishikawa's gone for the third out of the inning. So we're going quickly here through this one. Lions go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Third of the ball game is in the books, and your score is the BayStars 1 and the Lions no score. I don't even have time to take a breath. This inning's going so quick. We'll be back in just a few. Hang with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat here. It'll be Ibina, Hummel, and Yamamoto for the BayStars to get the fourth inning rolling as we are getting back underway. I don't think my little shorts seem to have the same popularity in the as they did with the World Baseball Classic. Putting short up, letting everybody know we're doing the live commentary. Boy, during the World Baseball Classic, those were getting listened to a lot. These ones here, the one I did tonight, it is a pales in comparison. Let's just put it that way. I was thinking maybe doing final score updates each day, but we'll have to see how that goes. There's a first pitch breaking ball. I'll take it for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Bina. Bina 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded into a double play his first time up. 7 for 28 in exhibition play, batting .250. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes. 53 pitches in the first 3 innings for the lefty Tanichi. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count goes to 1-2 on Ibina. Yeah, the Shave also adds, he said that nobody gets a clear directive on a player unless it's really bad news. Fastball swung on and fouled right back. Count remains at 1-2. Yeah, I agree with that. It's kind of like the National Football League, too. I know in a sport like football, you have to be careful because, there are some players who may go out of their way to intentionally injure or try to go after that part of the body that may be ailing a player. There's the 1-2 pitch. On the way, fastball swung on and lined down the right field line, foul, and the count remains at 1-2. But I'm not sure that exactly would fit in. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ibina as the lefty Takuchi ready to go again. Comes to the set. Now delivers. Fastball swung on and it's lined foul down the right field line. Count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. There is other action around the NPB this evening, and we'll catch you up on that in just a couple moments. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. Most of the games are just about ready to get going, as we'll try to keep you posted on everything else. This is the only game that is underway at the moment, as the lefty fires a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2. Other games that will be going this evening, it'll be the Fighters and the Swallows. They go off in a couple of minutes' time, as do the Dragons hosting the Marines. The Buffaloes are hosting the Tigers, and the Hawks are hosting the Carp. Later tonight, it is the Eagles at the Giants. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. It's now 3-2 to Abina. So full slate of ball games. As we mentioned, looking at the possibility of maybe doing another game, or we are going to do games tomorrow night and the night after. As there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Watanabe. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Abina. It was a good at bat by Abina. That was a 10-pitch at bat, but he's in the books 5-3 for out number 1 here. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Cooper Hummel. Just looking at tomorrow night's actions, we could come back and do this one again. I was kind of hoping to be able to see another ball game, but I do have a feeling it's going to be the same 2 ball clubs tomorrow. But on Sunday, I kind of like to see either maybe the Buffaloes and the Tigers, possibly the Battle of Osaka, as there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field, and moving over and making the catch for the second out of the inning is the center fielder Nishikawa, and that is going to retire Hummel. So 2 gone now, and brings up the catcher Yudai Yamamoto. So I'm a little bit torn. I might even put up a public poll if we do the Fighters and the Swallows. Should we do the Lions and the BayStars again? Should we do the Dragons and the Marines, or the Buffaloes and the Tigers? I might put that up as a poll. Yamamoto 4 for 28 as he steps in here with 2 gone in the 4th. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend the Chaves says the NFL and NHL have internal issues. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. Yeah, and that's what I would say. They probably don't want that issue with guys that are targeting injuries. I mean, if the guy's got a sore ankle, why don't you take a shot at the ankle, give it a little extra turn? He's a running back. As there's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 2-1 to Yamamoto. Hard to run when you have a nagging ankle, and a nagging ankle that people are grabbing and yanking on you. I'm not saying guys do it intentionally, but there are some who do. Fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted into the seats down the right field line, and the count's 2-2 on Yamamoto. Chave says league's general rule is wishy-washy. Yeah, that's for sure. But certainly if they've got the betting more online, or so to speak, the betting world is more in, I think they got to be a little bit more transparent in their disclosures. Fastball swung on, grounded over the right side. Tonosaki fields it in the shallow outfield. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Yamamoto on a ground out 4-3, and that's going to do it for the BayStars here in the 4th. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is still 1-0 for the BayStars. Runs are at a premium. Gracie Lynn says her vote is Buffaloes and Tigers, and that might be arranged. But we'll be back in just a few right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Lions. That means Watanabe, Kuwahara, and Canario. 2, 3, and 4 here, as we will be ready to resume the action. For those of you who have not been to the Balluna Dome, I actually kind of, in a unique kind of way, kind of like it. It's not the most modern stadium. They did put the dome on after it was built in the late 90s. And it's an open air dome as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball misses upstairs. They do get a lot of rain in that area. So that was the smart thing to do, is put it on. But I have to say, it's a bit of an engineering marvel. Watanabe 7 for 39 in exhibition play, homer and 4 RBIs. He had a really good rookie season last year. And there's a breaking ball that misses down. And the count now goes to 2-0. But his struggles have come here in the spring. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Azuma. Azuma holds to the set position. Here comes the 2-0 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Epiphany Card Collector in the house here. Welcome to the stream tonight. Glad you can make it in. Came in at the end of the, I think of the Classic or the semifinal game, and just barely caught you there as things were flying by toward the end. Glad you can make it in for this one. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count's now 2-2 to Watanabe. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. To thank everybody who takes the time to pop in, even if you just say hello or stick around for a couple innings. I'm talking about the development of an app for fantasy NPB play. And the other thing is, too, is you can also restrict the apps to regions. There's a fastball missing down in the way, and the count is 3-2. Like, I'll give you one. Online, you can get the Sports Navi out of Japan, and that gives you a lot of information. That's through Yahoo. But they have an app for Sports Navi, and Sports Navi, the app is not available in North America, and you can make that way, that you can't get the updates and whatever else. There's a breaking ball swung on, popped up down the right field line, giving chase, and it's playable, and it is going to be the replacement, and that is Kuki, who's going to haul it in as it would have been Satsugo when we started the game, but Watanabe's going to be gone for the first out here, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Masayuki Kuwahara. Epiphany says, just on protecting Caesar at his work. Well, somebody's got to have that one guy who can jump off the top ropes for him, and I'm glad it's you, Epiphany. Make sure you take care of Caesar down there in California. So 1 gone here, and that's going to bring Kuwahara to the plate. 0 for 1 tonight. He's flown out to left field. Fastball misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. 11 for 37 in exhibition play is the former BayStar. He's hitting .297, no homers and a couple RBIs. As the lefty holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-0. We were talking earlier about the games that we were calling with the Lions in the last couple of years. Lions were ugly 2 years ago, so much so I had to stop watching their games. Last year started as the Eagles, and then it became the Marines. It was hard to watch, painful. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Yeah, the Cardinals are on the top of my mind too. St. Louis, they would be hard to watch on a regular basis. I don't know where they're going to fare this year, and I'm not sure where, but I can't believe they extended their manager. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, taken on a hop by the shortstop, Ishigami. He fires to first. It's going to be a ground out 6-3. That's going to be 2 outs here. So 2 gone in the 4th, and that's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Alexander Canario. Well, for Canario, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to deep right field his first time up. He just got a little bit underneath the ball. It was a good piece of hitting as he had stayed inside the ball and drove the ball to the right center field gap. But nice job by Cooper Hummel to haul that one in the first time. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, and it's tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. Canario now 12 for 40 in exhibition play, batting .300. As the lefty Azuma kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on, its grounded foul. Count is 0-2. Our friend Greaseland says, baseball, like American soccer, is the sport where coaches go to have long, bad careers. Takes a lot to get fired. Yeah, I'm curious to see when I go see the Mariners play in another week. I always say it's when you scout, you go and you see somebody play and you get a first impression of what they can and can't do, and you go back and you see them again. It takes a lot to change that impression. As the 0-2 is coming here to Canario, Azuma delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and I'm going to come back and talk about that when we return in the top of the fifth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are through 4 complete. Your score is the BayStars 1 and the Lions nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Top of the fifth, around the corner. Glad you could make it in with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the top of the fifth inning, and that means it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. It'll be Ishikami, Azuma, and Maki. Ishikami tonight, 0 for 1, 8 for 27 in exhibition play. As he takes a first pitch upstairs, they appealed to the third base umpire, but he didn't go. 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander against the left-hander. And the pitch is a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. I'm starting to say in the last half inning, we were talking about, different things, especially, not just our app. I'm losing my train of thought. It's been a long day yesterday, and we were talking about different things. I can't remember the other one I was going to come back to. I should have made a note. Usually I do that. I write it down, and as I say, my setup's a little different, and I'm all out of whack. My rhythm is not in a good we're not in a good rhythm right now. So there's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-2. Gracie Lynn had said about where coaches, that takes them a while to get fired. What I was about to say last inning was about Dan Wilson, manager of the Mariners. As the 2-2 is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Ishikami's gone. He's out number 1, and that'll bring up the pitcher spot in Azuma. Well, I was at the Mariners and A's series last year. Wilson had come on at the end of the 2024 season. 2025 season, you don't always get to see it on TV. Arozarena was in left. The center fielder is J-Rod, and the right fielder is Robles. There's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Azuma. Ball got hit out to the left fielder, being Arozarena, and the other 2 outfielders didn't move a lick, just stood there. Same thing, ball got hit to the right fielder, Robles. He got a late jump on it, had to dive to make a play, and Rodriguez and the left fielder just stood there. Fastball misses up. Nobody backing up the play. So that's a reflection on the demands of the coaching staff. And you say, okay, well, maybe Wilson's taken over. That's their first spring training. Maybe they got to talk to the outfield coordinators, find out what's going on over here. Fastball misses inside. Count goes to 3-1 on the, check that 3-1 on the pitch for Azuma. You got to ask yourself, what are you guys doing? And I'm curious to watch them play the Guardians to see if they've rectified that problem, if they're still doing it. Because if you want to be a good team, you got to do the little things right. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball taken at the knees. Count goes to 3-2. Gracie Lynn says Robles is not a right fielder. Gracie Lynn says an ADHD stream. Yeah, probably. Fastball on the outside corner, taken for a called third strike. Azuma's in the book. Strikeout number 2 here in the inning. As he is retired, that's going to bring up the top of the order in Shugo Maki. And that, by my count, is 7 strikeouts in the books for Tanichi. Well, the other thing is impatience in soccer, that people want everything right now. So Maki at the plate. He takes a first pitch breaking ball down, and the count is quickly 1-0. Maki walked and scored a run in his first at bat. A chance to hit in the leadoff spot. I wonder if they're doing that because he'd come back from the Japan tour with the World Baseball Classic team. As that breaking ball misses down, you want to get him some more at bats leading into the season here, especially with the time away, not just from the club team, but time away with the national team having to travel back, the jet lag, everything else. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball swung on, grounded foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 2-1. Yeah, it couldn't work in baseball because of your systems that you have in place. You have to be patient. Sometimes it's got to be a 3 to 5 year program before you gas somebody. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-1 to Maki. 84 pitches already here for Tanichi. I'll be curious to see if he stays in the game for the 6th inning. Breaking ball misses up, but that's going to be ball 4, and Maki's going to get himself a 2-out walk. As he heads to first, that'll bring up Kaita Sano to the plate. Well, Dan Wilson is the manager right now, Gracie Lynn. It wasn't working with the guy who was before him, Scott, what was his name? Dad used to be the coach at Creighton, Scott Service. Service was gassed and Wilson came in. Yeah, and Wilson did get their group, so I'm curious to see just how they're playing, in terms of being live. Sano, 9 for 32, hitting .281. As the lefty works to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses up. Runner's on the move, and Maki is going to steal second base. Stolen base for Maki. It looked like it was a strike, late call by the home plate umpire. So Maki with a stolen base. He doesn't necessarily run particularly well. Throw from Koga wasn't very good. It was a little bit short and a little bit on the left field side of the bag at second base. At that rate, maybe Maki wants to run again. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Yeah, but also, too, at the same time, when you're coaching or running a program, there are some teams that just aren't ready to win. Like, I'll give an example of this. Trey Yasevich last year for the Blue Jays. 0-2 pitch on the way, fastball down. Good stop there by the catcher Koga. 1-2. Trey Yasevich, if he was playing for the Rockies or the White Sox, there's no way they would have brought him up last year for that World Series run, or because they wouldn't have been in a position to run for the World Series. Doesn't matter. You can keep him in the minors, and you can let him pitch there, let him just develop, but you also have team control. That's the part a lot of people don't see, is the team control that you have. As soon as you bring him up to the big leagues, then the team control starts, or the service starts to click. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Sano's in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. Gracie Lynn's going to remind me what I'm talking about here in just a moment. Hang tight, everybody. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left to board. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th. This game is now halfway in the books. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Epiphany says he's got Dan Wilson's draft pick card from 91 score. First ever pack he opened. Still has the card. That's pretty cool. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. I'll carry on with that thought about what's going on in baseball these days. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shinichiro Kishi and Ko Lin and Shuta Tonosaki to come to bat here in the last half of inning number 5. Nobody up and throwing yet in the Lions bullpen, so we'll see if Tanichi goes another one. There's a fastball swung through and missed to count as 0-1 to Kishi. It was 80-plus pitches for Taguchi, so they're going to rock and roll with him again. Here comes the offering from the lefty Azuma, who kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into left field, but moving over to his right and with room to make the catch is Sano, and that's going to retire Kishi for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. It's going to bring up the DH and Ko Lin. I was starting to say about the Blue Jays about Trey Yasevich. And Yasevich, when he was brought up, he was pitching. Like, I know he rocketed through the organization, but if you were the Colorado Rockies, and the way that they've managed Chase Dollander, who was down in the minor leagues, you're in no rush to bring him up. He's going to start to lose team control. And what you do is, normally speaking, a team that's not in a position to win, they leave their guys in the minors so that when they start putting pieces together and guys start getting to the big leagues, you start thinking you got a team that can win. And as you slowly promote your prospects, now you're in that chance. First pitch breaking ball swung on and fouled away. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but why are you going to waste service time on Dollander in the event that, you don't have a team that can win? Now, you're going to get to a point where you have that 5-year window, or if he's not to the big leagues, you're going to have to put him on your 40-man to protect him, and then you might as well give him your opportunity. But there are some clubs that 100% will operate that way. Breaking ball misses down. It's 1-1 to Lin. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball swung on, his grounded up the middle for a base hit, and Ko Lin is aboard with a 1-out single. It's going to bring Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. So, that 3 to 5 year plan, you draft a guy or you draft it, it's going to take a little while to play out, especially teams that don't have the resources or the money. The Dodgers can spend their way out of mistakes. The Yankees and the Mets can spend their way out of mistakes. There are a few other teams that could do the same, spend their way out of mistakes. But when you're running a budget team like the Guardians or the Athletics or the Tampa Bay Rays, you can't spend your way out of mistakes. You're going to have to develop guys. You're going to have to train guys. You're going to have to be strategic free agent signings, shrewd ones where you're trying to get something, make something out of nothing. Here's the pitch to Tonosaki. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count is 0-1. So not everybody can win. So the impatience of the fan, unfortunately, you're just going to have to buy your time in certain spots. So no balls and 1 strike. Tonosaki tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his only trip to the plate. Lefty Azuma works himself to the set position. Here comes the 0-1. And instead, he steps off and feigns the throw over to first base. Easily getting back is base runner Lynn. Other thing I'd like to see, too, I'm curious now, with the World Baseball Classic and the shot clocks or the pitch clocks being used, fastball swung on and fouled away, count is 0-2. How long is it going to take for the Japanese league to implement the pitch clock? They're taking away the DH next year in the Central League, so I wouldn't bat an eye that that's going to be on the table. If keep the pace of the game moving, you can think of those NPB games under 3 hours in a lot of cases. Much like the Major League games, the longest time is the substitutions of the pitcher. It's when the pitchers are going to the bullpen. That's where the games, they lengthen out a bit. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Count remains at 0-2 to Tonosaki. Friend Gracie Lynn says, likes watching the certain teams like the Guardians and the Brewers, the way that they run their minor leagues. They have to run it that way because, as I said, they're tight on their resources. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's 1-2 now to Tonosaki. They have no choice. You have to run it and operate it that way because, as we said, the other teams, even the Padres, if you look at their team, how many homegrown players are in the starting lineup for the Padres? I'll go first. Jackson Merrill. And then what other positional player is homegrown in San Diego? They use their drafting to pay bonuses to players. Fastball that misses outside. Count is 2-2. They get the players. They take the players and flip them for seasoned pros. So they're kind of like a mid-range team. They're like a middleman. They're going to get themselves a trade that'll bring in a player from one of those mid-level teams for prospects. There's a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Tonosaki's in the books. So in other words, you want to be drafted by them. They have scouts that can identify their players. They just don't really develop their players. You think of Leo DeVries. He was flipped for Mason Miller most recently. I forget who else in the trade. I want to say it was J.P. Sears went as well to San Diego. So you got a trade like that, and the next thing you know is you got a top prospect in all of baseball with the Athletics. Athletics are out there developing the players. They get to the big league level, and then the next thing you know is they trade them back into prospects like DeVries. Fastball swung on, popped up into foul territory on the third base side. It's playable. Miyazaki over by the fence, and he's going to make the grab, and that's going to do it as Genda's gone for the third out of the inning. Now, we're having a pretty good rant tonight. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're through 5. As you know, this is what we like to call Japanese halftime. This is where they take the 5-minute break. The umpires go get their drinks, and the players get to go and have their smokes. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with all the action. We appreciate you for being here. And I'm going to go get myself another coffee. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That is our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure to check him out after the ball game. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into the top of the sixth inning. We're still in the middle of our Japanese halftime, as we like to call it. But there is going to be some movement, it looks like, defensively. We'll have to get that for you when they come up to bat, being the Lions. Well, we were talking a little bit about the defensive play of the Mariners, and I was saying about how teams are. We also were getting into the talk about how teams use their draft picks and their prospects at the major league level and flip them, especially where they aren't doing it. I'm also going to throw this out there. And I was saying the other night, at what point in time are the baseball players or the owners of some of these, teams like the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, got to break away from Major League Baseball? Say, look, we got 20 teams that aren't trying. We got 10 of us that want to spend. We want to do this. We want the best players to come, and we're going to create Major League Super League or something like that. As the first pitch coming from Tanichi is a breaking ball that misses outside to Toshiro Miyazaki. It's Miyazaki, Kuki, and Ibina to come to bat here for the BayStars. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, there's a slow breaking ball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line, giving chase his Canario, but he's going to watch that one sail into the seats just beyond the bullpen area. And the count now goes to 1-1. And so I was talking about, when you look at it, European soccer as an example. I hate to always compare soccer to baseball and baseball to soccer, but there was talk about all the top teams in the European League. We're just going to leave their domestic leagues and go create a super league across Europe. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and line foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 1-2. But that ended up not happening. They revised the Champions League and how that was going to go. And really, they want to get rid of some of those, what I would call minnows that, make them earn their way a little bit more to be able to play at the top stage of the world. Breaking ball down, and the count goes to 2-2. So, you think about baseball, you get teams that, like the Dodgers, like the Yankees, even the Angels, they don't spend always smart. But now you get 10 teams together to say, look, we want to create this super league. We want to compete. We don't need the Tampas. We don't need the Miamis. We don't need the Pirates and the Reds and the Guardians and the Tigers and the White Sox. As that breaking ball misses, it's now 3-2 to Miyazaki. So maybe that's something that should be considered. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as the lefty works himself to the set. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into right center field. Started back, and now he moves in, and that is going to be hauled in by Nishikawa, and that's going to retire Miyazaki for the first out of the inning. So 1 quick out here in the 6th, and that's going to bring up Ryuhei Kuki to the plate. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents of the matter of where I think it could potentially go. But I wouldn't bat an eye if that ended up happening, because you always all of a sudden have to say, like, where are we going? And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded by Watanabe. Fires to first. That's going to retire Kuki on one pitch. Ground out 5-3. He's in the books for out number 2, and that is going to leave it up to the center fielder in Tetsuo Ibina. Well, the other thing is it's going to be more. You think of the contracts that are out there. It's 2 things are going to happen. It's either the owners need to make more money, or the ownership group wants to make more money, or the players want to make more money. I get it. The owners keep raising the prices. The players want more money. They want a bigger piece of the pie. It's anywhere. It's in the auto industry. It's in the battery industry. If you're making money, we want more of it. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. It's like I was talking to somebody today about workers when the pipelines, a lot of workers here in Canada, United States, end up working in the pipelines, but all of a sudden you got to go and you got to rebuild in the Middle East, and they're throwing $100,000 US under your nose for 5 or 6 months of work, a couple $100,000 plus a year. Because that breaking ball was swung on and missed, counts 0-2 to Ibina. A lot of people will get up and leave. Same thing in baseball. If you had more competitive piece, guys are going to leave the teams that aren't paying you, and they're going to go to the big clubs. Fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Ibina watched it go by for out number 3. My guess is Tanichi's night will be done after this half inning, as the BayStars go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is still the BayStars 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around with us, everybody. We'll come back and chat with the chat a little bit more when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Scores 1-0. We'll be back in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat here, the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. That means Koga, Nishikawa, and Watanabe for the Lions here, as Azuma will come back out for his next inning of work. Tanichi is at 99 pitches. I'd be shocked if they brought him out again on his final tune-up start before the season. And Azuma, well, he's only at 53. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0. Our friend Gracie Lynn says that they should have the MLB teams are disgustingly greedy. Yeah, some of the prices that they're charging at the ballparks is insane. There's a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 2-0. I mean, you could get a beer across the street for, at a bar or pub, and you're paying $6, and they want to charge you 16 at a ball game just because you pay your cover charge to get in. It's crazy. And yet there are people that pay it. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 3-0 on Koga. Never understood it, but I guess in some ways there was a strategy when Bill Davidson owned the Detroit Pistons. He also owned the Detroit Vipers, which was a minor league hockey team that played out of the Palace. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 3-1 on Koga. And the strategy with that minor league hockey team was they would give free tickets to everybody. Didn't care, free tickets. But what people would do is they would come and they would pay $5 for parking, and then they would go and stuff themselves with food because they didn't feel so bad about having to go to a game where they didn't have to pay for, as there's a fastball that misses down and away, and Koga gets himself a walk. And so he is at first, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Manaya Nishikawa. So my point being is that you get an opportunity to go to the game. People will say, I didn't pay for a ticket. Now I don't feel so bad paying a little extra money for the price of a hot dog, or the extra money for the price of a beer, when your tickets are free. And I kind of look at it the same way. If I go to a game and if I want to get something to eat, my tickets, I don't pay for them. If I sometimes do, but I don't pay for the tickets. The next thing you know is, you gotta figure that out. So here comes the offering from the lefty, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count now goes to the balls and 1 strike to Nishikawa. But a cap on prices isn't going to happen, because in the United States, when you think about it, it's free market capitalism, if you want to take that as it is. And so what you buy, what you sell, the economics of everything, I hate to say it, but that's what it boils down to. There's a fastball that misses up. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say that Nishikawa didn't go. The count runs to 1-1. So the free market capitalism, you can charge what you want, you can pay what you want, and somebody's going to pay it, or you have to bring your prices down. As long as people are paying, you can charge more. Very narrow stance by Nishikawa. He has a leg kick, and he grounds it right back to the pitcher, Azuma. They go to second for 1. They get 1, and back to first. It's a double play. Interesting, because they had Koga on the move, and he's still going to be erased by the double play. Nice play there by the pitcher, Azuma, that is able to turn that double play. And that is going to go in the books as a 1-6-3 variety. Nishikawa gone on the back end, and so that's 2 in the books. It's going to bring up Seiya Watanabe to the plate. And they had to hurry because Koga was almost to the base. He was probably about, I'd say, maybe a couple of feet away. Normally, he doesn't run particularly well. Here comes the first offering to Watanabe, and it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Count is 0-1. Nishikawa actually hit the ball to that side, where if he would have hit it a little bit softer, or maybe chopped it a little bit into the air, probably would have been safe at second. They probably would have had to go to first. It would have been like a swinging bunt, but he just hit it a little too hard. As a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Thank everybody for poking their heads in here tonight. As we said, it's all going to get going for real in just over a week's time. As the lefty Azuma ready to deliver again. Here's the pitch to Watanabe. There's a fastball swung on, grounded foul over on the third base side. Every game except for the one at the Tokyo Dome is underway. Actually, the game at the Kyocera Dome is also a later start. It's at 6 o'clock Japan time. Carp have a lead 1-0 over the Hawks. That's in the top of the third. Dragons have a 1-0 lead over the Marines, top of the second. Scoreless between the Swallows and the Fighters. And this game, of course, is 1-0 BayStars. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul into the seats on the first base side of home plate. The count remains at 0-2 to Watanabe. So no balls and 2 strikes. As we said, if you just joined us, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. Same 2 teams. Then Sunday we'll recalibrate. We might either do the game between the Tigers and Buffaloes, or the game between the Fighters and the Swallows. Not sure yet. Check our channel for the updates when that comes available. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 0-2. Gracie Lynn says, what's our MLB stream schedule looking like this year? Probably got about, as I said, we want to do 150 games. Most will be in the NPB. So we're probably looking at doing about 5 games a month in the MLB. Breaking ball just misses, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Watanabe. Enjoy doing some of the MLB, mostly the day games during the week. That'll probably be the schedule for us. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as Azuma works himself to the set position. And he kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on and it's lifted down the right field line, foul. And the count remains at 1-2 to Watanabe. Turning into a competitive at-bat. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat for the big fella. Bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 BayStars. They got their run in the first, and it's been all crickets after that. As the 1-2 on the way, fastball swung on. Both the starting pitchers have been pitching really well. As I said, I don't know if there's anybody up and throwing in the Lions' pen. One of the few stadiums where the bullpens are still in the field of play. Actually, it's not in the field of play. It's in to be seen. They were actually behind the fence just past the third base dugout down the left field line. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped to the shortstop, and he's made the catch as it looked like it was close to the ground. Nice job there by Ishikami. He's going to put that one away, and that is going to do it here as Watanabe's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board, and we are now through 6 complete. Your score is the BayStars 1 and the Lions no score. Stick around, everybody. It is Hummel, Yamamoto, and Ishikami slated to come to bat, and we'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are still 1-0 right now for the BayStars over the Lions. 70 pitches for Azuma. Curious to see if he'll come back out for a 7th inning of work. I would think that he may possibly do it. We are waiting on the Lions and to see if they are making a bullpen change, and I do believe that they are. We'll get caught up with that in just a moment. Yes, Tanichi was at 99 pitches. That's one thing. You don't see that in Major League Baseball, that guys at 99 pitches in spring training, they probably would have a conniption. The Japanese league, they don't skip a beat on that. Doesn't really worry them. They'll have their guys all ready for the start of the season. Just getting caught up and see if there's any major changes, at least defensively. But it looks like we do have a new pitcher for the Lions. It is going to be a right-hander. And it is going to be number 57. This is Masaya Kuroda. So he will come on here. So Kuroda ready to begin the inning, and he's slated to face Cooper Hummel. And Hummel, the switch hitter, is going to turn himself around and bat left-handed. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on, grounded down the first base line. Nice play there by the first baseman. That's Kishi, who underhand flips it to the pitcher covering, and with one pitch, Hummel is erased on a ground out 1-3. He's in the books for the 1st out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher, or slated to bring up the catcher in Yudai Yamamoto. Yamamoto 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate. Nice play there by Kishi. I didn't expect Kishi to be playing first base, but he is what it is. We've seen him in the outfield quite a bit in recent years, but the outfield might be a hard place to get playing time. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and he may have to adapt and play some other positions where he can. So here comes the no ball, 1 strike pitch. It's on its way. It's a fastball, misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamamoto 4 for 29 in exhibition play. He has really struggled as the 1-1 pitch ready to go. But if he can play good defense, they can overlook that. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and the count goes to 1-2 on Yamamoto. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's the top of the 7th inning. BayStars got the early lead. It was Shugamaki, leadoff hitter, was brought around on a single off the bat of Miyazaki. That is where we stay right now. There's a fastball that misses down in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yamamoto. My guess is that this one might be Azuma's last inning, timing-wise. Slated to come to pitch, although the BayStars waste a pinch hitter and then go to the bullpen a little earlier. I think that provides an interesting decision. There's a fastball. And that's why I like it when the pitchers hit, because if the BayStars go 1-2-3 here in the inning, your decision is bring Azuma back out. He's at 70 pitches, let him go. But if you get a base hit, you got a guy in scoring position, and you got 2 out, maybe Azuma's night's done and you decide to go to your bullpen. That's the strategy of the game and the management of the game that has been lost by the use of the DH. Fastball swung on it, has popped up over on the right side of the infield. Moving over underneath it is Tonosaki, and he's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Yamamoto for the 2nd out of the inning, and that'll leave it all up to the shortstop in Taiki Ishikami. And that certainly frustrates me watching the game, because taking the strategy, taking the intelligence out of the game by doing that. And I mean, yeah, people will say, well, it gives you more offense. Maybe. Or maybe it gives you a quicker game when the pitchers hit, because technically pitchers aren't paid really to hit. They're paid to, or pitchers aren't paid to hit. They're paid to pitch. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count is 0-1. So you have a dead out in your order. But if the pitcher's able to do something, it gives you an added bonus. So no balls, 1 strike to Ishikami. As the pitch is on the way, another split finger pitch swung on and missed. So nice job here so far by the reliever of the Lions, Kuroda. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a fastball that bounces up to the plate. The count now 1-2 to Ishikami. Gracie Lynn says she doesn't miss pitchers batting like she thought they would. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed. Nope, fouled away. It's going to be right at the foot. It looked like it was swing and miss. That's how I always find that funny. It looked like Ishikami was ready to walk back to the dugout. Home plate umpire said, nope, it was a foul ball. So we'll do it all over again. Gracie Lynn says it's been a beneficial part of the game. I don't know. I think that the pitchers having to hit, and that adds the execution of the bunt. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And there they throw down to first, and they're going to be able to retire the batter Ishikami. It's a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. Out number 3 is Ishikami. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with the bottom of the 7th inning. I'll let Gracie Lynn tap away on her keypad there, and we'll come back and tell her that I think I do like pitchers to hit. And I like to see them hit. Well, maybe better. I like to see pitchers stand in the batter's box. Whether they hit or not is a different topic. Bottom of 7th, just around the corner. Hang with us. Welcome back, everybody. Azuma's coming back out to start the bottom of the 7th inning. And he is only at 70 pitches through his 6 innings of work. It's going to be Kuwahara, Canario, and Kishi slated to come to bat to face him here. The defensive change, there was no substitutions for the BayStars. They just decided to put Sano at first and put Kuki out in left field. But there is a change at second base here for the BayStars. As it looks like that the day for Shugo Maki is done. So I didn't see exactly who it was that the BayStars have rolled out there. I have to try to double up on that in a moment. There's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Kuwahara. I believe it's Minato Tanai or Tanai. But we'll have to wait on that. A little surprised because leading off the next inning is Shugo Maki. I would have thought they would have tried to squeeze another at bat out of him, but I guess that's not the case. As that pitch had taken the inside corner for a called strike, count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty again getting the sign from his catcher. Remember, there's no extra innings tonight in the exhibition game, nor will there be tomorrow or on Sunday. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count is 1-2. Another rule that I like in the NPB is they play extra innings and they don't put the ghost runner on the base, but they cap the game at 12 innings. If the game ends in a tie, it ends in a tie. In regular season, I don't see a problem with that. The other thing is, too, when you think of in Major League Baseball, when the game goes to extra innings, how many people actually leave the game, especially on a game Monday to Thursday or Sunday to Thursday if it was a Sunday night game. Fastball swung on, lifted into shallow left field. Racing hard is Kuki, and he drops the ball. Oh, boy, that was an adventure and a half right there, and Kuwahara is standing at second. It's a routine fly ball to left field. I made the note that he had just made the change. He was playing first base. They moved him into left field, and the left fielder, Sano, came into first base. And he brought his frying pans with him to the outfield as he clanked that ball. Cinder blocks for hands. That should have been the first out of the inning. It's now E7, and standing on second base is Kuwahara. Can't blame the ceiling. Pretty easy place to play. It's not like it's a bad backdrop, but he had actually overrun the ball and then he jumped to try to catch it. So Azuma should have 1 out and be cruising here. Now it's going to bring Alexander Canario to the plate. And this is always where it happens, where the next thing you know, somebody puts a ball in the seats, turning around a pitch. Next thing you know, your 1-0 lead becomes a 2-1 deficit. So Canario standing in at the plate. His spring average has fallen to 293. He's 12 for 41. And the pitch on the way from Azuma, breaking ball misses down and away. You're going to have to pitch this guy delicately. And if Kishi's on deck, I wouldn't bat an eye that maybe they would consider putting Tyler Nevin into pinch hit. If he is available tonight. This is the inning. They got to get to Azuma. You don't want to get into the bullpen. Azuma here has pitched masterfully tonight for the BayStars. 1-0 on the way. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. Friend Gracie Lynn thinks that the ghost runner should be applied in the 13th inning. The biggest thing is people get up and leave. Like, you know, you see games in Kansas City, you see games in certain parts, and they get up and go. They don't want any part of it. And then they leave after the 9th inning and game is done in their minds. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away. So what's the difference of ruling it a tie? When most people who go to I say most people, but a lot of people will go to the game and they're gone by the 10th. The 11th inning rolls around and they're gone again. I will say this, the Japanese, they hang right in there, right to the end. There aren't people getting up and leaving on a regular basis in Japan. It doesn't happen. I mean, sure, you see the odd person here and there, but as a whole, people are there to the bitter end. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Canario. Zuma ready to go as he works himself to the set position. Checks the runner at second. Checks him again. Pitch on the way. Fastball down. It's ball 4. And Canario is going to get himself a base on balls. That's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out. That's going to bring Junichiro Kishi. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. Gracie Lynn says, never stopped watching an extra inning game in her life until the Ghost Runner. After 9, I leave the stadium I'm watching. Just turn the channel and click the score later. Yeah, well, that's it. It's like trying to end an NBA game on a 3-point contest. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't earn his way on. The runner, that is. All of a sudden, he's anointed, and who is it? It's the last runner who made the last out of the last inning. Well, runners at first and second. It's going to be Junichiro Kishi coming to the plate here. Kishi is 1 for 2, and he's already squaring to bunt. So that ought to tell you what is about to happen. As the catcher, Yamamoto, moves up to the front of the plate, and he's going to flash the signs to the pitcher, Azuma. Defensive signs, defensive alignment. So him flashing the signs is over with, and we're ready to resume the action. And again, Kishi setting up here, looking to drop a bunt. Lions trying to get back into the ball game here or to even it up as they are down 1-0. Azuma ready to go here. Here's the pitch. It is bunted. It's down. It's down the third base side. Fielded in foul territory. And it is going to be a foul ball. The runner who was heading to third, that was Kuwahara, slid in there. He thought he was safe. Unfortunately, it was a foul ball, so everything's all going to come back. It's no balls and 1 strike. But you have to also remember that you're making decisions Major League Baseball is going to make isn't going to be on those, what I call the small percentage of people who are going to stay. They're looking at the big picture and saying, look, how do we keep these people in the stands? Maybe in their mind, the Ghost Runner does that. But here's another thing, another sad commentary about Canada and the United States, and that is beer sales stop after 7. They try to pick back pick Kuwahara. Ball ends up into center field. He doesn't know where it is, and he's still going to be safe at second. And now Azuma is calling for another baseball. Thought at first he might have been calling for the trainer, but no, that's not the case. So no balls and 1 strike. BayStars clinging to a 1-0 lead. Lions have something going here in the bottom half of the 7th. Kishi at the plate looking to trying to bunt, move the runners along. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Azuma delivers. It's a breaking ball, misses upstairs. Now they try to back pick at second. If the shortstop hangs on to the ball, Ishikami dropped the ball, I think they would have had Kuwahara back picked at second base. I think he got him leaning a little too far. The catcher fired down to second, and Kuwahara almost was hosed. That pitch missed. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Kishi. The throw probably could have been a little slightly better. There was still room if it would have been to the third base side of the bag. And again, if they would have held on, it would have been a great play, great out at second base. But they're throwing everything here at the Lions defensively are the BayStars. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Suma delivers. He bunts it. It's down. This time it's a decent one. They got to go to first. Yamamoto fires it over, and that's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be 2-4 in the books. Advancing to third is Kuwahara. Over to second is Canario. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Anko Lin. Or is it? Are we going to have a possibility of a pitching change here? Because they are coming out to get Azuma. It looks like that is going to be the end of the ball game for him, as the manager of the BayStars is going to the pen. Hang tight, everybody. It is a 1-0 game. The Lions are threatening. They are going to the bullpen, and we're going to be back in just a couple of moments with that change in just a few. Stay with us, everybody. It is a pitching change.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Rollie Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
That's our good friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the ball game, as he keeps you entertained in all kinds of different ways. Even when Gracie Lynn's not with us, she keeps us entertained here now that she is. She says she's talking about all the random games that she's been to on different nights, and certainly that is certainly something. As I said, the American audience, they will leave, or North American audience will leave. The other thing is, in Japan, the beer sales, they don't cut off until the end of the game. Beer sales in most places in the States are done in the 7th. Well, Anko Lin is coming to bat here as he steps up 5 for 14 in exhibition play. He's got no homers and an RBI. The BayStars have gone to their bullpen, and it is going to be Hayati, a sidewinder coming into the ball game. And we're going to see how this is going to work out. Runners at second and third, one gone here. As the right-hander ready to deliver. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball that misses outside. Count is 1-0. I say fastball loosely. Hayati Nakagawa, who is the reliever, he will be the second pitcher used by the BayStars in this one tonight. As the right-hander gets these signs from his catcher Yamamoto. Here comes the offering. 1-0 on the way. Fastball misses up. And the count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Anko Lin. Launch God in the house. He said, what are the scores? Victor says the score is 2. Read the bottom of the ticker, gentlemen. As the 2-0 pitch is on the way. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. Runs across the bottom of your screen. So 2 balls and 1 strike as Nakagawa battling his way back here as Anko Lin steps back in. As I said, I really like the way that Lin, I like his presence around the plate. Just looks very confident. And he's a fairly decent size as well. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, and it's fouled away over on the third base side home plate. The count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Turning point right here in the ball game. They got a chance to the Lions. They got to punch at least one across. This is their best opportunity, one would think. Get back here on the BayStars. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lin. 1 gone. Runners at second and third. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. And the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, they have the open base over there at first. Looming on deck is Shuta Tonosaki. So we'll see what the Lions have up their sleeve. The 3-2 on the way. And there's a fastball that is swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul into the netting just beyond the third base dugout. And the count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Azuma had a pretty good start, and unfortunately, it's the error that started the tone for this inning. That's where things had kind of gone away. The left fielder, Kuki, had clanked the ball that should have been caught. Here's the 3-2. Fastball misses way outside. That's going to be ball 4. It's going to load the bases. So Lin is aboard. That's going to bring Shuta Tonosaki to the plate. And for Tonosaki, well, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown out to right and struck out in his 2 trips to the dish. Crowd for the Lions urging him on here. Be good for them if you're a Lions fan to build, certainly going into the season, and also to have a run of play here. Get some confidence, especially after building off of what they did last year. The only drawback is losing the pitcher Imai. That's the struggle they have. He is a tough one to replace. And here's the pitch. Fastball misses way outside. The count is 1-0 to Tonosaki. There's nowhere to put him. They're going to have to face him. So he's got to get something good to hit here in the next couple of pitches, one would have to think. Nakagawa getting this sign from his catcher, Yamamoto. Yamamoto, infield is in here. They got to try to cut the run off at the plate. Fastball swung on, lined into right field, giving chase is Hummel. It's going to get down. It's to the wall, and that's going to score a bunch of runs. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. And they're going to run it back into the infield, and it's going to be a double, and it's going to give the Lions a 2-1 lead here. Nice swing by Tonosaki. As in to score was Kuwahara, and Canario follows in as well. And now it is a 2-1 Lion lead over the BayStars. And Colin stopping over at third. And that error starts to loom large. And for those that are new to our stream, we'll update our ticker at the end of the half inning. So it is now 2-1 for the Lions. And the other thing is they had to play the outfield shallow as well because they wanted to try to throw somebody else at the plate or throw somebody at the plate. And the swing by Tonosaki driving it down the line. Allowed that to happen. Here comes the first pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside. Looks like we have a pinch hitter here for Genda. Natsuo Takazawa, who has been getting the bulk of the shortstop duties in the absence of Genda. He's 6 for 26. He will take over and go in at short more than likely. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander here. Again, holding to the set. Here's the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to short. They check the runner back to third. That's not good effective hitting. That is not going to cash a run in. It's going to be a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. Nice job there by the BayStars. And looks like we may have ourselves a pinch hitter here for Yuta Koga. We'll see what is up the sleeve of the Lions manager now. So Koga has been recalled. Then we are going to have a pinch hitter here. That is going to be number 32. And by our accounts, it's going to be Takayoshi Yamamura. So Takayoshi Yamamura in to hit. As he steps to the plate, batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Nakagawa. Nakagawa in relief of Zuma, who was forced out of this game here with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the pitch. On the way, fastball swung on, hammered over, diving and knocking it down, but unable to make the play. 1 run is in. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's not in time, and 2 runs are in. And down to second base is going to go Yamamura, and that is going to blow this one open. It's a 4-1 lead. So it was a great play by the second baseman to move to his right. He dove for the ball. He knocked it down. He couldn't come up with it. And it was a good job as the shortstop for the BayStars with the wherewithal, and that would have been Ishikami, picked it up and then fired to the plate as they were rounding the runner from second base. Good base running by the Lions, and they picked up 2 more, and they've added to their lead. It is now 4-1. That'll be a single for Yamamura. He'll go to second on the throw to the plate. He's going to get himself 1 RBI. I don't know if they'll give him 2, but I'll have to wait and see if they do give him 2 RBIs on that one. Good decision. It's going to bring Manaya Nishikawa to the plate. Gracie Lynn says his game's unraveled quickly. Oh, yes. The drop pop fly that started the inning, that was the kiss of death. We could be out of this inning by now. I say we. The BayStars could be out of this inning by now. 9 for 41 is Nishikawa as he steps in. And they brought in Hayate Nakagawa. There's a ground ball hit up the middle, fielded by the second baseman, and he throws it in the dirt. A great pick over there by at first. Fantastic play by Sano, and that is going to do it here. It's going to go as a ground out 4-3. And that's going to do it here. 8 batters come to the plate for the Lions in their half inning. They got 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was an error, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we now move to the top of the 8th inning. It is a 4-1 ball game for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging on with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a little bit. Your score is 4-1 for the Lions over the BayStars. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We got some changes around for the Lions, and they are going to be going to their bullpen. Looks like they got a left-hander on the hill. We're just waiting for the confirmation of that so we could get you all updated. As Messiah Kuroda, his night is over. And the Lions are going to try to finish this one off. His 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 errors for the BayStars. 4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Lions so far in this one, as they do have a new left-hander on the mound. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. Is going to be lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. Count is quickly 0-1. Is a pinch hitter. It is Matsuo who is in the pinch hit here for the pitcher's spot in the order. And the pitcher is Hakua Iwaki on in relief here for the Lions, the lefty. And the second pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, lifted into right center field. Moving back is Canario, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Matsuo for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the top of the order. And we'll just get a confirmation here because I do believe, and we know Shugomaki is out of the lineup. I believe this is where Minato Tanai has come in to hit. It's a pretty good preseason for Iwaki. And this is exactly the spot in the order that Minato Tanai is hitting. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down. This is his first at bat of the evening. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the lefty works himself set, here comes the 1-0. Fastball swung on. It's going to be lined foul into the seats down the right field line. The count runs even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Gracie helping us out. We appreciate you there. Lots of changes defensively for the Lions. We're going to have to get you that caught up on the in-between, especially when they come to bat. There's a fastball that just misses low, and the count goes to 2-1. In the exhibition play, we generally see this quite a bit where you start to see where guys are substituted out or brought in. Lots of movement here. Looks like Shinya Hasegawa is in right field. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats. Gets over the netting down the right field line, and the count now runs even to 2-2. On the hitter, Tanai. So Wacky getting the sign here. 1 gone in the 8th inning. BayStars were winning 1-0, and as we said, it unraveled quickly in that 7th. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. Moving to his left is Tanazawa. He one-hops it to the first baseman, and it's going to be a ground out 6-3 as Tanai is gone for out number 2. That's going to leave it up to the now first baseman, Kaita Sano. Well, for Sano, he is officially 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and a double in his 3 trips. Batting from the left side. 9 for 33 in the exhibition play, hitting .273. He was a really important piece in the BayStars run to the championship in 2024, especially playing first base in lieu of Tyler Austin. And as the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Gracie Lynn says she likes the spring games there because they're kind of like Major League Baseball spring training, or I shouldn't say that, like MLB day games. As there's a fastball that comes up and in, and he couldn't hold up was Sano as he was trying to get away. It's now 1-1. Yeah, the final 3 innings could take as long as the first 6. Yeah, it seems like it. This game's skipped along at a pretty good clip. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, fastball swung on a grounded foul over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. It's kind of like some of the folks who come in and put their money down on exhibition games. Putting your money on exhibition games, I don't even know what to tell you. I can't even think of what's in the mind. There's larger rosters, just too many variables, too many different things. Putting nickels on baseball at the best of times is tough, let alone exhibition games. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. One thing our friend Gracie Lynn wasn't for here last week during the World Baseball Classic games, we had our good friend Demon Slayer was in the house, and he was able to provide the algorithm he uses through Grok to predict games. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field. Canario started in. Now he moves back. He's going to make the catch. And that's going to do it as Sano's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. BayStars are done here in the 8th. I'll come back and talk about that in just a couple of moments about the Grok. But no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. As again, the BayStars go in order. And by my count here, if it is correct, that is 10 in a row retired by Lions pitching. And we'll be back in just a few with all the action after this.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole. a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Jose Ruiz coming onto the mound to pitch here for the BayStars in this one, as he will take over. And he will be slated to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. It's supposed to be Watanabe, Kuwahara, and Canario. We'll see exactly who the Lions are going to be bringing out here for this one. Looks like it is Hasegawa who will hit for Canario. I think Canario's night will be done. And so that is where that will be. Here comes the first offering here to the right-handed hitting Watanabe. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The right-hander delivers again. There's a fastball swung on it. Is tapped foul right at home plate. Count now goes to 0-2 on Watanabe. So no balls, 2 strikes it is. Greasy Lynn says he's a pretty decent singer. Yeah, if you go on to Apple, iTunes, he's got a CD or album, whatever you want to call it, album release. He's got a couple albums. There's a breaking ball swung on, is grounded over to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Tanai, who throws to first. It's a ground out 4-3. 1 gone here, and they'll bring up the left fielder in Masayuki Kuwahara. That's a good question. Gracie says, what does he go by on Apple? And I can't remember. I have to go back and take a look. I'll message him, and I'll come back with an answer for you tomorrow or the night after. This is going to bring Kuwahara to the plate, who is officially 0-2. He reached on the error by the left fielder Cookie in the last inning. And he was the former BayStar who came around and made the BayStars punish for that. There's a fastball swung on it, is hit back to the pitcher, Ruiz, who knocks it down. He picks it up and throws to first. That's going to be a ground out. 1-3 for the second out of the inning. And then it's going to bring up Shinya Hasegawa to the plate. Oh, Gracie says, yeah, send her a message on Discord. I'll send you a message. I'll take a look, and I'll message him tonight or tomorrow. I don't know if he's on spring break yet. Sometimes he goes down to Mexico when he's on break. So that brings up the right-handed hitting Hasegawa. This is his first at bat tonight. The first pitch on the way is a breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. First at bat here for right-handed hitting pinch hitter. 11 for 31 in the spring. Didn't get the start tonight as Canario was in right field. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 9th appearance of the spring for Ruiz. He's got himself a 3.38 ERA. He's got no strikeouts. Interesting. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. I find it interesting sometimes, the Latin players, Jose Ruiz. He's from Venezuela. Previously played in Major League Baseball with the Padres, the White Sox, Diamondbacks, Phillies, and Braves organizations. So he's been around a little bit. He is from, as we said, Venezuela. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to third. Fielded by Miyazaki. He throws to first. That's going to be a ground out 5-3. And Hasegawa's in the books for the third out of the inning. Well, we're going to the 9th inning as it is upon us. The Lions go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nothing left aboard. Top of the ninth. It's supposed to be Miyazaki, Kuki, and Ibina. We'll see if that's going to be the case when we return after this. Appreciate you guys hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel for Exhibition NPB Baseball. Bottom of the ninth, just around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change as the Lions are going to the bullpen. It is going to be Ryota Itogawa on to try to close this one out. He is making his 5th appearance of the spring as the right-hander. Not a big fella. He is going to try to close this one out, but he's got a tough part of the batting order. Miyazaki, Kuki, and Ibina slated to come to bat to face him here in the ninth. It is Nakata who has gone into left field. He is going to replace for the Lions, replace Kuwahara. So Keisuke Nakata, another part of the rebuild for the Lions, the former Hawk. So lots of former players here as we are ready for the bottom of the ninth inning. Top of the ninth inning. Could be ready for the bottom of the ninth too. It is getting late here. Not on the West Coast, but definitely late on the East. So here we go back to the live action as Miyazaki steps in. He's had a decent night, 2 for 3 tonight. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, counts 0-1. Considering I didn't have any sleep yesterday, I got some sleep in the daytime today. We'll knock it down here after this one. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now runs even to 1-1. Literally didn't have any sleep for about 25 hours, 26 hours. As the left righty delivers, there's a fastball taken on the outside corner for called strike. Count is 1-2. Tried to sleep on the plane, couldn't do that either. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Miyazaki. Right-hander Itogawa kicks and fires. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. Top of the ninth inning. Lions scored 1 in the first, and BayStars scored 1 in the first. Lions scored 4 in their half of the 7th inning, and that is where this one stands. 4-1 for the Lions. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get lifted into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Over to pick it up is Nakata, and that's going to be a leadoff single here for Miyazaki. BayStars are not dead yet. That's going to bring Ryuhei Kuki to the plate. Spells the end of the night for Miyazaki. He's going to get pinch run for. Nice job there by Miyazaki. That's his 3rd hit of the ball game. 37-year-old, as we said, in the twilight of his NPB career. Might have another year or 2 left. He'll be 38 at the end of the year. Brings in Shibata to run for him. So a little bit of speed. And stepping in at the plate here, it looks like we may have a pinch hitter for Kuki, and the pitch is on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. It is number 4 at the plate, and this is Ryuki Watari. He burst onto the scene with a huge rookie campaign. The initial part, he was unbelievable. Fastball swung on, grounded foul. It was 3 years ago. He came onto the scene and everybody was all excited, and then he kind of really never played a role or a major role in the move to the championship in 2024. He's got a unique stance. He bats from the left side. He always gets up. He's got this way that he holds the bat. And there's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes to Watari. And Watari, as we said, he actually broke it in 2024, but he never played a part in the Japan series. He ended up hitting 255. He'd cooled off that year. Last year, he hit 6 home runs. There's a breaking ball down. It squirts away from the catcher, but no advancement from the runner, Shibata, at first base. Last year, Watari hit 241. He was the first-round pick in 2023 by the BayStars. He is 23 years old now. He doesn't turn 24 till early October. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As right-hander delivers, there's a fastball. It's broken the bat of Watari, and this ball is going to bleed down into left field. Nakata racing over. He made the effort like he was going to catch it, and that had to hold the runner Shibata, and that's going to put runners at first and second. So this game here isn't over yet. Got a whole host of trouble going on now as the reliever Itogawa is in trouble. Runners at first and second. The tying run in Abina coming to the plate. So a bit unfortunate. The first hit was a legitimate hit. That one's unfortunate. I think the bat went about half the distance of where the ball landed. The broken bat, because it was a busted bat, the leader that ended up getting down. So that puts runners at first and second with nobody out. And Abina striding the plate here. Abina tonight, 0 for 3. Grounded into a double play, grounded out and struck out in his 3 trips. So Lions trying to close it out here. Top of the 9th inning. First pitch, breaking ball comes inside, almost hits Abina. Count is 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Itogawa asks for a new baseball. Didn't like the one that he threw. I'd probably say that Itogawa would be in agreement with that because and come up on side and almost hit him. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Right-hander holds to the set. Checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count runs even to 1-1. Thought about pulling the trigger, and then he pulled back. BayStars showing a no-die attitude. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Itogawa trying to work himself out of the jam. As the right-hander gets the sign from his catcher. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball on the way, swung on, grounded over to third, but it's foul. And that's going to run the count now to 1-2 on Abina. Waiting his turn on deck is the big fella Cooper Hummel. So certainly an important batter here to try to retire. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander leans in, and now time is called. They had a play on, but everybody knew but the pitcher, and so the catcher had to jump out and call time. And now the catcher is set up. So the right-hander ready to go. As he gets onto the rubber, he checks the sign from his catcher. Now he's ready to go to work. Itogawa trying to work himself out of the jam. Runners at first and second. 1-2 pitch coming. Now he kicks and fires. And it's a splitter swung on and missed. And Abina, he goes down on strikes. That's a huge strikeout. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring Cooper Hummel to the plate. Gracie says, dumb question. No, well, no, traditionally not. I know one year, a few years ago, when the Fighters were playing, and the manager, Shinjo, he wanted to have a ninth inning where it didn't matter. The other team got a chance to bat. Now they try to throw down to second to try to pick the runner off, and getting back feet first is Shibata. So Itogawa with a good quick feet himself from the pitcher standpoint. So Cooper Hummel standing in. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Batting from the left side, his second time from the left side. Hummel, he has been very aggressive. He has swung at the first pitch in 2 of the 3 at-bats. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and he's in the hole at 0-1. He tried to deposit that ball in the seats with one swing. So no balls and 1 strike. He is a double play candidate, one would think. For a big guy, he does move pretty good, but I would think he's not a plus runner. But he is fairly agile. So here comes the 0-1 offering. They throw. That's an interesting play. Holy geez. They try to backdoor pick at first base, and they're going to go up and have a look, are the Lions. So they have runners at first and second. And they did a pick play over at second base a couple of moments ago, and now it's a timing play over at first base. And I think that they feel that they've got the runner at first sleeping over there because, well, who's going to throw over to first base when you got runners at first and second? So Watari, the runner at first, he ended up diving back head first. We're going to get a look at the replay and let you know what we think ourselves. As the umpire is going to go under the headset. We'll see what they, I guess the call would be coming from Tokyo. Interesting play, timing play. The only question I will see is, looked like it was a bit of a high tag. They seem to think that they got him. Our replays are not the best, at least the first 2 that we've seen. So very interesting here. We're just having to wait here for the decision. Not much we can do at this point. They're still under. I don't think it's conclusive. I don't know, at least unless they got a different video than what we have here, I honestly don't think that they can overturn this call if they get the same video as we do. And we'll continue to wait here until the umpire comes back. But a little bit of drama here for the 9th inning. Obviously a situation that probably doesn't need drama if you're a fan of the Lions and you just want to win the game. But it's worth a challenge anyway. And here comes the umpire. And the decision is going to be, he is safe. There you go. So all for naught. So still no balls and 1 strike to Hummel. And the pitcher has thrown more balls to bases than he has to the hitter in this at-bat so far. That was a pretty swift play, a pretty smooth play. You see that sometimes, but now the question is to the runner at second, why not take off and go? That was Yamamura, the first baseman. So here we go. Here comes the offering as the right-hander works himself to the set. Hummel waggling the bat and the pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 0-2 on Hummel. It's been a decent ball game, and it's got a pretty decent ending to it as well. But the BayStars looking to try to tie the game. 1 swing of the bat can do it. No balls, 2 strikes to Hummel. Right-hander Itogawa works to the set. And here comes the pitch. On the way, split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Hummel is retired on strikes for the second out of the inning. He went chasing that one. So back-to-back strikeouts by Itogawa. And that is going to bring up the catcher. It's supposed to be Yamamoto, so we're going to see if Yamamoto is still going to get a chance to hit or if they may decide to go to the bench. So Itogawa looking to come back after allowing the first 2 runners to reach. It is Yamamoto. Batting from the right side. Yamamoto tonight is 0 for 3. 4 for 30 in exhibition play. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats on the first base side. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. After this game is done, we will give you the roundup of this one, and then we will also take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard before we put this one to rest. As all the other games are underway, the late games go off in about 2.5 hours' time. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. As it's on its way, it is a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. This would be appropriate if he has a change piece here. This would be a great spot for a changeup, as the hitter Yamamoto was right there on time. They have moved Dan Visaedo into the on-deck circle, so in the event that Yamamoto finds a way on base, they've got Visaedo to come next. I expect Yamamoto to get a steady diet of garbage flying up to the plate here. Here comes the 0-2. Right-hander delivers. Split finger pitch hammered foul. Oh boy, that was too good. Just down the third baseline, and the count 2-0, no balls and 2 strikes to Yamamoto. Lions looking to get themselves a win here. Trying to close out a victory. As I said, they have to start trying to win each series against every team that they have, trying to build on some positives. Certainly last year was a positive. And they're a much different looking Lions bunch this year. Here's the 0-2. Right-hander checks the runner at second. Pitch on the way. Oh, swings at a pitch that's about 3 feet out of the strike zone. Itagawa retires Yamamoto on strikes. He comes back and strikes out the last 3 hitters he faces, and that is going to do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. Your final score, Lions with a 4-1 victory over the BayStars. Stay with us, everybody. We'll come back and wrap it up after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Your final score was 4-1 for the Lions. BayStars got on the board early with a walk to Shugomaki to begin the ball game. Kaito Sana stepped up and doubled, and that put runners at second and third. Then it was Toshiro Miyazaki. He singled home the runner Maki to make the scoreline 1-0. That's all they could cash. They had 3 runners on with the first 3 at-bats. They couldn't get themselves another run across. 1-0 BayStars after 1. Well, Lions got all their runs in the 7th inning as they sent 7 batters to the plate. And it all got going on the error by the left fielder. Kuki couldn't catch a routine fly ball. He dropped that. And that put Kuwahara over to second. Then it was Canario at the plate. He walked. And then there was Junichiro Kishi, who had a sacrifice bunt to move the runners along over to second and third. After a walk to Anko Lin, up stepped Shuta Tonosaki. He doubled home a pair. That made the scoreline 2-1. And then it was up stepped with 2 out. Up came to the bat. It was the pinch hitter Yamamura as he came on to bat for Yuta Koga, and he singled home a run. And we weren't sure if they gave 2 RBIs on it because Tonosaki came all the way around from second base to score both on the same play, and that was going to do it there. They had 4 runs in the inning. Well, your final score tonight, Lions, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. BayStars, 1 run, 6 hits, 2 errors. And again, your final score, 4-1 for the Lions. Our friend Gracie Lynn, thank you for stopping in. God is great. Thanks for popping in at the end of the stream. Epiphany Card Collector, the Chave, everybody else who popped in here tonight. It was great to have you with us, as well as our friend from Osaka, Samurai Prayer. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. All right, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same place, same channel. Hopefully you guys can make it in for all the action. It is going to be the same 2 teams tomorrow when we come back again. Hopefully we'll see you then. Have a great night, everybody.